How do you create genuine desire in a woman, even when she initially seems completely uninterested? I'm from Feminine Desire, and today we're going to break down something most men never truly understand at a deeper psychological level. You've probably experienced this before. You meet a woman who feels exciting, intriguing, maybe even different, but her interest doesn't match yours. You try to be polite, you try to be attentive, you try to show effort, consistency, good intentions, yet instead of bringing her closer, something strange happens. She starts to feel more distant, and that's where most men misunderstand the situation. It's usually not that you're doing everything wrong, it's that you're doing the right things at the wrong emotional timing, in the wrong psychological order. Because attraction doesn't operate like logic. It doesn't grow through explanation, effort, or reasoning. It grows through emotional response, perception, and subconscious triggers. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 psychological triggers that naturally create desire. And I'll be honest with you, the final one is the most powerful. And when used correctly, it can completely shift how you are perceived almost instantly. But almost no one applies it properly. Before we go deeper, you need to understand something important. This was never properly explained to you. Not in school, not in upbringing, not in social conditioning. Because female attraction is not primarily logical, it is emotional and subconscious. While you are focused on proving yourself through words, explanations, and effort, her mind is evaluating signals you are not even aware you are sending. Evolutionary psychology suggests that attraction is largely driven by mental shortcuts, automatic patterns the brain reacts to without conscious thought. Once you understand these patterns, you stop forcing connection. You stop chasing validation. And instead, you naturally become the kind of man women feel drawn toward. Let's begin with the first trigger, masculine presence. This has nothing to do with physical strength, appearance, or dominance. It is about psychological grounding. When you walk into a room, do you occupy it fully, or do you mentally shrink within it? Women notice this within seconds. A man who moves slowly, calmly, and deliberately, who does not rush his words, who does not scan the room for approval, who is not subtly seeking validation, communicates something powerful without saying a word. He signals internal stability. And stability creates attraction. Now imagine this in a real situation. You're at a social gathering. Instead of nervously scanning for reactions or trying to perform, you simply settle into yourself. Your posture is relaxed but firm. Your breathing is steady. Your attention is present, not anxious. That shift alone changes everything. Because she doesn't consciously think he is attractive. Instead, her subconscious registers something different. He feels different. Not because you tried harder, but because you became centered within yourself. Now, the second trigger is emotional challenge. This is where most men hesitate. They try to avoid discomfort, they agree too quickly, they soften every edge. They think agreement creates connection. But in reality, too much agreement removes tension. And without tension, there is no attraction. Attraction needs polarity, contrast, a slight push and pull. When you gently disagree or respond with playful resistance, you introduce that contrast in a safe, engaging way. For example, she says she enjoys waking up early every day. Instead of immediately agreeing, you smile and say something like, "Really? You don't look like someone who has a healthy relationship with the snooze button?" It's light, it's playful, it's not disrespectful, but it introduces personality. And that matters, because it communicates that you are not here to impress or mirror her every opinion. You are here to interact, to engage, to express. That spark only exists when there is contrast. If this is starting to make sense, you already understand more than most men ever will. Now, the third trigger is selective attention. This is where many men unconsciously destroy attraction before it even has a chance to develop. They give everything too quickly. Too much attention, too much availability, instant replies, no space, no pacing, no mystery. And without realizing it, they remove value from the interaction. Because attention, when given too freely and too early, stops feeling like interest and starts feeling like dependence. But attraction needs space to breathe. It needs timing. It needs restraint. The female brain interprets this as a signal of low value. A man who has genuine options is rarely fully available at every moment. It's not about playing games, it's about direction, identity, and balance. You want to be someone who is genuinely interesting, but also someone who is clearly interested in a life that exists beyond any single person. Purpose becomes the foundation of attraction. When your life is filled with direction, goals, hobbies, friendships, responsibilities, you are no longer orbiting around her attention. You are moving through your own world. And that shift changes perception, because instead of feeling like someone trying to gain access to her time, you become someone whose time already has meaning. That naturally creates curiosity. She starts to notice that you are not constantly available, not because you are withholding yourself, but because your attention is already engaged elsewhere. That difference matters. Scarcity, when it is natural and not forced, creates interest, not as a tactic, but as a byproduct of a full life. The fourth trigger is intentional listening. This goes far beyond simply hearing words. It is about retaining meaning and recognizing emotional detail. Most people listen to respond, but when you listen to understand and then actually remember what was said, you stand out immediately. When you bring up something she mentioned in passing days earlier, it signals something powerful: presence. For example, if she casually mentions that she likes orchids, and later you come across one and send a picture saying it reminded you of her, that moment carries weight. Not because it is extravagant, but because it is specific. That level of attention creates emotional recognition. It tells her she is not just being heard in the moment, she is being remembered. And being remembered is one of the strongest forms of emotional validation. This builds connection faster than generic compliments ever could. The fifth trigger is calibrated vulnerability. Many men assume that attraction comes from appearing completely unaffected, always composed, always invulnerable. But in reality, emotional connection does not form around perfection. It forms around authenticity that feels safe. When you share something real, an experience, a challenge, a fear, you create relatability. But the key is in how you share it. Not as a complaint, not as a collapse, but as grounded honesty. You remain steady while revealing something human. That combination, openness with emotional control, creates trust. And trust is what allows attraction to deepen. Because strength is not the absence of flaws. Strength is being able to acknowledge them without losing yourself in them. The sixth trigger is gradual physical touch. Research in psychology shows that appropriate, light touch can stimulate oxytocin, a hormone strongly associated with bonding and comfort. This is not about rushing intimacy. It is about subtle, natural physical moments that feel effortless. A brief touch on the arm during a shared laugh, a light guiding hand while walking through a crowd, small, respectful contact that happens in context, not forced, not staged. Over time, these moments build a quiet association in her mind. Your presence feels safe, grounded, and familiar. That emotional familiarity becomes important in how attraction develops on a subconscious level. Now, this is also where depth becomes more important than theory. In real life, it is never about isolated techniques. It is about how they blend together in behavior, timing, and awareness. And finally, the seventh trigger, the most powerful one, is controlled unpredictability. The human brain is wired for dopamine, and dopamine is deeply connected to anticipation and uncertainty. When something is slightly unpredictable, but still emotionally safe, it becomes mentally engaging. It holds attention longer. It creates curiosity. This does not mean instability or inconsistency, it means rhythm. At times, you are warm and expressive. At other times, you are more reserved and focused on your own life. Sometimes you initiate connection. Sometimes you don't. You are not performing a pattern. You are living one. That controlled variation keeps the dynamic alive. Because predictability makes people comfortable, but controlled unpredictability makes them curious. And curiosity is what keeps someone mentally engaged even in your absence. At this point, you are no longer relying on chance or confusion. You are operating with awareness. These are not tricks. They are behavioral patterns rooted in psychology. And when used with respect and intention, they change the way connection naturally forms. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to understand how perception actually works and align yourself with it. At the end of all of this, the real takeaway is not about techniques or trying to control how someone feels. It's about understanding how attraction actually forms at a psychological level. Desire doesn't come from chasing harder, talking more, or trying to prove your worth through effort alone. It develops when presence, purpose, emotional intelligence, and timing come together in a natural way. When a man builds a life that is grounded, meaningful, and self-directed, he automatically changes how he is perceived. Not because he is performing differently, but because he is no longer operating from neediness or uncertainty. He is operating from direction, and that changes everything. The triggers discussed throughout this process are not shortcuts. They are reflections of deeper human psychology. How attention is given, how emotion is built, how trust forms, and how curiosity is sustained. But none of them work in isolation, and none of them are meant to replace authenticity. Because real attraction is not created through effort alone. It is created through alignment between who you are and how you move in the world. When you stop trying to force interest and start focusing on becoming centered, intentional, and grounded, something shifts naturally. You no longer chase connection. You become the kind of presence that allows connection to form on its own. And that is where real desire begins. Not in pressure, but in presence.